Yo, what's going on? It's Ronald Jefferson, Johnny C. Soar, with another RKJ Topics. This comes from Breitbart.com. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. Breitbart, that's a real news agency, so let's see. Former Patreon employee claims company ignored child abuse content to protect minor attracted people, pedophiles. Ooh. A Glassdoor review left by an alleged former Patreon employee claims the company told trust and safety team members to overlook pedophilic content and protect minor attracted people. You know what? That's what we always say. Jason Whitlock's been saying a lot, but I've been saying it for 10 years. 12 years actually, since 2010. The whole LGBTQ movement, it's not about adults having sex with adults. It's about adults having sex with kids. That's what they want to get to. They want to desensitize you sexually to the point. I think the new age will be 13 pretty soon. And they'll say that, maybe 14. I'm thinking maybe 13 or 14. They'll say that, yeah, you're old enough to have sex with somebody grown. I think they want to even lower than that. We're dealing with Satanists who like to abuse children. So, Redo reports that a former Patreon employee alleges in a recent Glassdoor review that the company was facing members of its trust and safety team to overlook pedophilic content on the platform and protect minor attracted people. In other words, pedophiles. Breitbart News reported earlier this month that the company had laid off its entire security and privacy team in a huge move that many were critical of, with some creators threatening to move their content off the platform in protest. Patreon stated at the time, the changes made this week will have no impact on our ability to continue providing a secure and safe platform for our creators and patrons. On August 16th, a former trust and safety specialist at Patreon posted to the job review platform Glassdoor, alleging that Patreon demonstrated negligence in relation to child safeguarding, titling their review illegal. The former employee worked at Patreon for over a year and claimed that management at the company had actively encouraged employees to overlook pedophilic content unless ordered to do otherwise by members of law enforcement. You know why? Because a lot of these higher-ups in these companies, a lot of these CEOs, I don't care if you're making tax or safety pins. If you're a multi-billionaire or multi-millionaire CEO of these companies, you're probably sold out to Satan and you're molesting kids on islands. The ex-employee wrote, "We are being told specifically by management executives not to take down content that is illegal or was reported as sexual in nature involving minors unless the police make contact with legal or we have an order by a court. When others try to inform management that there's an amalgamation of accounts that are selling lewd photographs of what appear to be children, all concerns are dismissed." Wow. The review asks the higher-ups at Patreon are advocating for customers who are minor attracted or MAPS. It reminds me of the song by, what's the one group? He made a song called MAPS. I can't remember his name. Maroon 5. Yeah, they made a song called Maps. It was a really good song, too. It ends by saying, there's no way to run a company. There's no way to allow children to be exploited on our platform like this. And in the advice to management section of Glassdoor, the ex-employee wrote, "Have federal law enforcement investigate the company because there's no way that what we're doing is legal." Patreon responded to the claims in the blog post saying the claims are completely without merit. The blog post states, dangerous and conspiratorial disinformation began circulating on social media recently, alleging that Patreon has hosted child sexual abuse material, CSAM, We want to let all of our creators and patrons know that these claims are unequivocally false and set the record straight. The company added 2 points to refute the claims. I'm just going to skip that because, oh no, that's the last part. We'll read it. First, let us be crystal clear. Patreon has zero tolerance for the sexualization of children or teenagers. Okay. Teenagers? Yeah, right. Remember in Jason and in Freddy Krueger? It was always teenagers, man. Or young adults, man. I think it was teenagers, especially in Jason. They'd be at summer camp. And I forgot, Camp Crystal Lake or something like that. I think that's what it was. I forgot what it was. We strive to keep our community safe on all fronts. We unequivocally forbid creators from funding content dedicated to non-consensual or illegal sexual themes and regularly review creators' accounts to ensure creators behind adult campaigns are over the age of 18. We work with law enforcement globally and partner with world-class organizations including Thorn, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and In Hope, because we are committed to keeping the internet safer. Second, the important responsibility of monitoring for illegal content in accordance with Patreon's community guidelines lies with our trust and safety team, who takes that job very seriously. The security organization, in contrast, focuses on ensuring the safety of things that users and payment data on the platform. Recent changes we made in our safety organization were designed to bolster security efforts through relevant in-house and partner expertise. These vital efforts are completely unrelated to the trust and safety team's charter to keep the platform safe from harmful and illegal content. And that's the end. So what do you think? I'll tell you what I think. I think these higher-ups, these multi-millionaires and billionaires, what did God say? You think God's playing? You're more likely to see a camel, a 6 foot, 7 foot tall, horse-like creature get through the eye of a little needle than a rich man getting to heaven. Well, we don't really know what rich is in America, man, because some people are worth a couple million. Some people make a couple million in a couple months. And they make a few million a year. And then there's people who make more than that, more than that, more than that, more than that. What's rich in America? That's what you got to wonder. Cause there's a lot of rich guys I like, man. DJ Academics, DJ Vlad, Adam 22. There's a lot of rich guys I like. Adam and Vlad are atheists, but I think Academics is a Christian, so I don't know what to make of all that. I know this, that in order to get generational wealth, somebody has to sell their soul to Satan. If you don't believe me, watch this movie on Netflix called Fear Street 666. It's a trilogy. It's basically how this one town was sold out to Satan and was feeding off the life force of a whole other town. This town has such a stigmatized bad name, but the real bad town was a good town because the leader of that town, for generations, they found the path to Satan by killing this witch and getting her book. So they found the path to Satan. So they started selling their soul to Satan for generations. A different person out the family had to sell their soul to Satan. And basically they're just feeding out the life force of this other town. And the other town was just prosperous. It was crazy. It's called Fear Street 666 on Netflix, though. Other than that, have a good day. I'll give it to you later. This is Johnny C. Sower, RKJ Topics, Ronald K. Jefferson. Have a good day.